Hey guys, welcome back to Ruff's Garage. It's been a year since I last made a video. Things kind of changed a little bit. I bought a new truck about a year ago, and kind of stopped working on my red truck, and I just bought a boat. So let's look into that. All right, so this is it. It's a 95 Bass Tracker Pro 18. So it's 18 feet long. I believe it's only 6 feet wide. All aluminum. Unfortunately, it is riveted instead of welded, which is fine. The motor, we have a 70. It's not a 4-stroke, it's a 2-stroke. I just bought a new motor, or newish motor, exactly the same thing. I'm just going to do a motor swap. Tilt and everything works. Gonna give it a little bit of a polish when it comes down to it. Gonna recarpet the front. Okay, so disclaimer, it is torn apart right now. They have this weird foam flooring. But back here we have a, I believe, 10-gallon, I think so, 10-gallon live well. Right here is the battery storage for the motor alone. And then back here, underneath this cover, is our fuel tank. It's going to get cleaned up. And then on the other side, I do believe that's just extra storage. This back piece right here is for a pedestal, just like the front. Okay, so this is where the real fun begins, because first of all of this electrical over here is a mess. Like, I need to go through it completely. It came with some good gauges and everything like that. I tested them, everything tested fine. But I'm going to have to go through here and rewire everything. Same with the motor control. Cables work, everything's good, but it needs help. But the cool thing is the previous owner, before he sold it, bought brand new seats. All this upholstery's good. Center console's good. Nice and sturdy. It's got plenty of storage in here. Okay, so up here we have our rod locker, which is actually pretty nice because, yeah, store our rods and everything. This one's extra storage. Miscellaneous, there's a bunch of garbage in there for some reason. This is going to be for our life jackets and buoys and everything like that. This one right here is going to be for our ropes. Now I'm going to have to clean up some of that wiring up there. Up front we also have another pedestal mount for a lean seat. And then we have our fish finder and our trolling motor with a foot pedal, which is actually good. So what we forgot to film was that we took the console off. And I had planned on repainting it because it was like dull from the sun and everything. But I also noticed that it had a lot of cracks. It's savable, but it needs some work. So what I did is I JB welded all the cracks, every single hole that I didn't think needed to be there. All up here was all cracked, so I covered that with a nice skim coat of JB weld. But yeah, other than that, once I get all that sanded down, I'm going to cover it in like this. It's like spray paint, but it's also bed liner, so it should give it some texture and also fill in some of these gaps right here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so I'm using the sander. It's like 80 grit sandpaper. It's pretty rough, but I'm gonna start smoothing out all this JB weld so I can put a nice coat of paint on it and you won't even notice it. All right, so this is stuff I'm going to be painting it with. It's a Raptor truck bed liner. It comes in white, gray, and black, so I figured I'd do gray because that's what it is already. All right, I just shook up enough. It says keep it about 12 inches away. This stuff's pretty thick, so we can do it in lighter coats. I have 2 cans of this stuff, so I can take my time, do it nice and thick over every spot that I JB welded to get filling all the cracks. So as again, we JB welded it. So all the cracks should be filled in. I mean, there's some big ones like that one right there that you probably can't see, but that are okay to be there. Aren't as bad as the ones I filled in. I will probably use both cans just to get a nice thick coat over all of this, just so it has some rigidity, strengthens it. So this is it after its first heavy coat. I used the whole can. It actually dries pretty quick. As you can tell, it gives a nice little texture, just like factory. It kind of looks like factory. All of my cracks up here pretty much filled. Some of those holes are going to be for either for a GoPro mount, or it's going to be for a fish finder. This hole's going to be for a cup holder, so nothing's crazy going on with that. But yeah, this is it after its first heavy coat. So I think that's all I'm going to do for tonight. It got dark really fast because, you know, it is February. It gets dark pretty fast. But briefly, this is the motor I just bought on, what, a couple days ago. Bought it for 800 bucks. All the compression's good in the engine. Everything on the engine's flawless. Pretty darn good. But I did notice, after I did bring it home and put it in the light, that the hydraulic tilt was leaking and some electrical stuff pretty rough. So tomorrow night we will probably tackle the engine and either getting that one off of the boat now and replacing it with this one. Okay, so today's a new day, and some of my parts came in. So one of the first parts, Amazon came in clutch, and this is a new Speedo. It's a C-Choice. I've heard a lot of good things about these. Also on Amazon, this is a new gasket for the engine to go onto the mid and lower unit. Gonna be swapping that engine. That'll be it for another video. This is a Amazon special charging unit for the engine because the other one was burned up. I ordered this aluminum brightener. We've used this stuff on almost everything, from boats to trucks to cars, freaking everything. This stuff's great. The same place I ordered the carpet from, which was Tiny Boat Nation. It's out of Florida. We're obviously in California, so it took about maybe a week, almost 2 weeks to get here. This is AAT Marine Glue. It's for this big old roll of carpet right here. I got it 6 foot by 20 foot. It is just their charcoal gray color. It's a little darker than what came in the boat factory, but it also could be sun faded. But yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Yesterday we didn't really get a chance to work outside very much. It started raining, so had to bring in anything that we wanted to work on inside. Today is looking a little bit better. We're on our way to Harbor Freight to pick up a wire wheel cut brush so that we can get the lower part of the console done. At least try to get it done. We're gonna see if they have any more lights, because I noticed 2 of the trailer lights up front were kind of broken. So yeah, we're on our way. Okay, we're at O'Reilly's right now, but we just got done at Harbor Freight. So I'm gonna show you a couple things that I just got. Got some zip ties for all the wiring stuff we're gonna have to do. I got some masks, so when I wire wheel the all the doors and cabinet doors, I'll be safe. I got some safety glasses. I got a putty knife to help scrape any of the old glue or anything off. I got two brushes to paint on the glue for the carpet. I got 2 more of these trailer lights because, like I said, 2 of the other ones were broken. You can never have too many bungees, so I got some more bungees, and I got a wire cut brush to help take off any of the old glue, any of the old residue. That's pretty much it. We didn't really find anything at O'Reilly's, but we did talk about getting some lights for underneath the deck, under the edge, so that at night, we don't really go out at night very much, but if we do, well, plenty of light, plenty. So I figured this would be a great opportunity to work on the engine. I was actually going to work on trying to get the console done, but I figured that'd be a good project for when it's actually raining outside. So we actually have the boat halfway inside the garage. So what I'm going to do is take off all the lines and anything off this engine and get it pulled off and swap the other engine on it. I have everything to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and start ripping all the covers off and pull this engine off. Okay, so like I said before, this motor and the one I just got are identical. So this one right here is the one I just bought, and so this one should just bolt right into this one. I gotta first take off the carburetors first, all the mounts for that, take off all these hard power lines, all the starter lines. Some of this CDI stuff and this computer stuff can actually stay on there. So here's actually why I got a new motor. So number one's pretty chewed up. Number three is the worst. You can't really see, it's kind of dark. But number two is good, but number one and three are completely toast. Yeah, all these linkages, all these hard lines, everything is identical to that one over there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Gonna go ahead and swap that. And then I do have the impeller and everything for the bottom end, so that should go together really nicely. That sucker's heavy. Looks pretty good in here. A little greasy, but we'll get it all cleaned up. Okay, got that one out. This one's actually in better shape inside of here wise. It's a little greasy. I think there might be a seal for the shaft, but overall, I mean, yeah, it's a little dirty, but overall, this one, I don't know if you can tell, but this one's looks like it's been using salt water or something, because this gasket's pretty torn up. I mean, as good as it's gonna get, but we'll swap everything from this one onto that one. Okay, now that I got the motor off, I took off the base plate that had all the electrical stuff on it. That's outside getting a good coating of degreaser. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe up all the excess oil from a leaking seal, make sure everything's nice and clean, clean up this gasket surface. I already got a new gasket, as I showed you another clip. But yeah, just go ahead and clean this because it's pretty dirty. All right, so I got this bottom piece cleaned up pretty good. There's still a couple spots that are a little dirty, but I can do that when this cover's together. So yeah, after this I can check the motor, make sure the seal for the drive shaft's good. I think it's just an O-ring that goes on this shaft. So yeah, after that, mount the motor, get it all wired up. Maybe we'll have it running today, maybe not. I don't know. Can't promise anything, but we'll let you know. So we ran into our first kind of major, but not that major problem. I was gonna try to put the motor on today, but when I was getting ready to put it on, I wanted to make sure that all the seals were good. And so this is the main cover slash seal for the output shaft or the drive shaft off the motor. And there's two seals in here. One's bigger, one's smaller. And I noticed that the smaller one's nice. It's all hard and cracked and broken. So I wasn't able to put the motor on. So I ordered 2 or 3 more seals. Those should be here in the next couple days. But yep, that's pretty much it. Well, off camera, we kind of jumped on the taillights a little bit. The bracket on the right side was a little bent, so I got a crescent wrench and I bent it back as straight as I can get it. Got the left side all hooked up. That's great, ready to go. But the right side, we kind of ran into a problem. The turn signal works, the hazard work, everything's fine, but I have no running light. So I'm gonna have to fix some of the wiring that's inside there. But other than that, I mean, we got it farther than I thought we were going to today. So I consider that a win. So while we wait for the seals and stuff like that, I'm gonna try to work on that that right tail light, brake light, everything. Make sure that's working. And then I did get 2 more lights up front because I did notice that both of them weren't working. So I got these at Harbor Freight. They're just a trailer light kit, super easy, just probably a 2-wire. That's it. But yeah, that's probably gonna be our next bigger project. So I'm doing the bottom half of the console right now. Pulled the old carpet off, and there's a lot of the old glue still left on there. As you can see, a lot of these dark spots. I hit it with a wire wheel. Got most of it off, but some of this super heavy glue was still stuck on there. And I had some of this Loctite SF790. I get this stuff from work. It's a gasket remover, but I figured I'd try it on this, and it freaking works great. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. I did one side already, and it came out good. So I'm gonna start spray it on, just like you're painting. This stuff can be a little harsh, so you just want to be careful breathing in fumes and making sure you're safe. All right, so let that sit for a couple minutes, and we'll be back with scraping it off. All right, so it's been a couple minutes now. Let's go ahead and start scraping all this old glue off. Grab a safe place. Just like that, comes right off. Look at that. Oh yeah, look at all that. That's all glue. Nasty stuff. I will probably come through here with a buffing wheel and buff all these edges and stuff like that, so I'm not too worried about them. All right, I think that's it. Let's go and stop. So the paint stripper did great, but there's still some heavy stuff in these tight corners that I can't really get the scraper on. I'm just gonna use my Milwaukee buffer, just M12 regular old buffer, with an aluminum pad. That should help take off all the extra glue and stuff like that and get it ready for the piece of carpet. Pretty much got this wrapped up. I'm gonna go ahead and grab either my old piece of carpeting for this. So this is pretty much wrapped up. I'm gonna go ahead and clean it with some carpet cleaner, get the rest of the glue residue off, make sure that it has a nice surface that the carpet can cling to. And I'm gonna grab my old piece of carpet, or I'm gonna get some tape measure and measure out my piece of carpet and go ahead and start gluing it on. All right, we just got our piece cut. It actually cuts super easy. This actually looks freaking really nice. Can't wait to see it all together. So this is our first cut of the carpet. Looking pretty good so far. Not the straightest cuts, but it'll work. Okay, so this glue is actually a lot thicker than I thought. So what I'm doing right now is I'm putting some glue on this. That's a lot. There we go. On this piece right here, and then what I'm going to do is when that sets up, I'm going to work all these other edges around it. That way I can pull it all nice and tight and make sure that it's all even and nice. So my dad's mom, or my grandma, she passed away, but she used to do upholstery. And my dad tells me stories all the time about how she would bring all these projects to the house and do them for people, and they would come out beautifully. And so hopefully, maybe, her jeans will rub off in my favor, which I don't think they are, but it's cool. So if we could just get this all snug on there, we should have bought some clamps. Alright, so we got one side already pre-cut and everything. The glue's been on there for probably about 15-20 minutes now. This is just a little, just to show you, man, that looks good. We'll clean up all these little pieces, but man, that looks good. I'm excited to see how this turns out. All right, so we figured that this would be a good opportunity to like end this first episode. As you can see, where we started is where we're ending, and I got the console, the top half pretty much done. The bottom half I just got done carpeting it, so it's still fresh. This isn't even bolted to the top of it yet, or screwed to it yet. Still got to get the either windshield tinted or painted. Haven't decided yet. But this is pretty much it, and then much to come in episode 2. Alright, I think we're going to wrap up on episode 1 of Bass Tracker Restoration. Much more to come in episode 2, much more exciting things, much bigger things. If you like seeing this content and want more of it, like, comment, subscribe, and if you have any ideas, leave them in the comments, and look forward to episode 2.